Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having an amazing day. Sorry it's been such a little while. I've just been taking a bit of a break and I also moved house, so now we have a bit of a different background. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions and review on the Cover FX Power Play Foundation. I've been wanting to review this for a little while. I know I'm definitely a bit behind the craze on this one. But it was on sale at Sephora and I definitely wanted to try it out because I haven't tried out a foundation from Cover FX before. And I'd heard lots of good things about this one. So getting into it, I got shade N25. It looks like it's going to be a fairly good match for me. I just used the Sephora foundation finder tool on the Sephora Australia website to figure out what my shade was. I'm just going to look up a little bit of the claims of this foundation before we get into it. So I'm just looking on the Sephora Australia website and it says it is a matte foundation with full weightless coverage for all day wear. And it says what it does is it says its Power Play foundation provides buildable medium to full coverage with a modern matte finish, combining powerful shine control and environmental protection for practical all-day wear. All 40 diverse shades, I guess 40 is a good shade range, I think, are loaded with a trio of ultra-fine sweat-proof powders that control shine, visibly blur imperfections, and stay on the skin all day without dulling or drying your complexion. So that sounds good. It sounds like everything I would typically want in a foundation. Like, I like kind of demi-matte foundations or the satin foundations because they tend to stay fairly well on my skin, but they don't make me look dried out. So sounds like everything I would like in a foundation. Excuse my hair today, I'm just letting it dry out right now and I've clipped my roots to help with volume. So I've already washed my face this morning and put on all of my skincare routine, and that's sunk in. I did exfoliate my face this morning so that then there wouldn't be any dry skin on my face, because whilst I am oily, I do still get dry patches that sometimes foundation clings to. So hopefully this gives this foundation the best chance to look good. Firstly, I am going to prime my face today. I'm going to be using the Tarte smoothing primer, timeless smoothing primer, and the Milk HydroGrip primer. I'll just be putting the Tarte where my pores are. I'm just going to put a mirror to the side here so I can see. So if I'm looking to the side, that's what I'm doing. So I'm just mainly putting the Tarte primer on the sides and top of my nose because that is where my pores are the most visible, and I don't want the foundation seeping in to there. And with this primer, I press it in rather than, I guess, rub it like a normal primer. I find that helps it to fill in the pores the most and make my skin look smoother. So my face is all primed. Now, when I was looking at the Sephora website, it said apply with fingertips or a makeup sponge. For brush application, place a small amount of product on the flat top of the liquid foundation brush and apply to the face until well blended, and then set with loose powder for optimum wear. So I'm actually going to use my E.l.f. cosmetic sponge on this half of my face, and then I'm going to use my Sigma flat kabuki brush on this half of my face, and we'll see which one kind of gives the best appearance. So I'm gonna shake this. I can hear it around. I can hear it so when I shake it, so it seems like it's quite a liquidy formula, and so it's a dropper bottle. It seems quite small and it's plastic, so I guess it would be good for travel. Not that many people are traveling right now because most of Australia is in lockdown, but we'll see. So it's an interesting texture to have in a dropper bottle, because I guess normally in squeezy bottles you would have more liquidy formula, but like it's semi-liquidy. But it's actually a lot more thick than I expected it to for this bottle. Normally for this type of consistency you would usually just do a pump. So I'm just going to drop this on here. Might be a little dark for me, but we'll make it work. I'm just going to blend. We'll see how this goes. Okay. That definitely gave a bit of coverage, but we'll see. I'm just going to work in sections because I don't know if this dries fast. It seems like it might. Okay, so that's looking good so far. Might be clinging to my drier patches a little bit, but I'll see. That might just be the brush. I'm gonna go ahead and dot this over my forehead and see. Yeah, this formula definitely dries on the skin quickly, so work in patches. I don't think it's clinging to anything, and it's looking quite good on the skin actually. So like I'm looking in my mirror and it's looking like kind of a nice medium coverage that, and I've done half my face, you can see covers my redness. So I'm gonna dot this down my neck. Okay, I quite like that with just one layer. I did use the entire bit. I'd squeeze out onto my little tray thing here, but that was kind of probably about one standard pump. So I'm just going to squeeze out a bit more. And I'm going to do this side with the sponge. Okay, so I've just finished applying that foundation to my entire face. I don't know if I really prefer the brush or the sponge right now. I think the sponge might be slightly better for this because it is a slightly thicker consistency to the foundation. And I guess just having that moisture helped to blend it, I think, a little bit better. That said, I feel like it might be slightly clinging to the sides of my nose or this area here. Just slightly. It's nothing major, like there's not a whole patch of foundation that's missing. But just looks like it's a little clingy in that area. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the rest of my face, rest of my makeup, and I'll be back once that's done, just to update you on if anything that I put on my face reacts, and if anything doesn't, what I used. I'll list everything I used in the description box so you can have a look if you want to. So it is currently 8:15 a.m. I'm going to end up wearing this foundation to probably about 5 or 6 o'clock, so we'll definitely get about 8 to 9 hours wear test out of this, and I'll definitely be doing a couple of check-ins throughout the day for you. Alrighty everybody, I finished putting on the rest of my makeup. Nothing reacted especially bad with the foundation, and it also doesn't appear that the foundation is oxidized or anything. I will list everything I used for the rest of my face in the description box below if you wanted to know what I used. So it is currently 8:42 a.m. So I'm going to go about my day. I'll probably check in a couple of hours just to see how things are going, and we'll see how it copes with my oily skin. It's fairly normal-ish day outside, but I probably will have to go out and about and wear a mask for a little bit, so we'll see how it goes with all of that. Yeah, but overall quite liking this so far. It's not particularly accentuating anywhere, and it's dried down quite nice. I will note it did essentially dry down itself. Like, I didn't have to powder much. I mainly only put powder in my oily areas, just because it dried everywhere itself. So it is one of those foundations that does dry. So I would say just work fast with it if you do use it, to avoid it drying where you apply it. Alrighty, I'll be back in a little while for a check-in. Hey everyone, back for a check-in. It is currently 12:57 p.m. So this foundation's been on for about 4.5 roughly hours. So I'm just going to check in and see how it's all going. I will warn you, I have been wearing a mask and I have been wearing my glasses. So there's some patches that have definitely transferred. So this foundation doesn't claim to be transfer proof, so I'm not going to mark it down for that. It's just, I guess, something I'm pointing out for you guys. So I hope you can see it has transferred off my nose, it has transferred off my chin and a little bit on my cheeks here. Like, you can see my redness poking through. Other than that though, I'm not particularly oily. I do have a ring light that does emphasize my shine a little, like I'm a little shiny, but nothing more than just a bit of healthy glow. So definitely, so far so good. Pretty much all foundations transfer off my nose where my glasses sit. This bit here that's transferred off my nose, I think that's as a result of wearing a mask, because right now in Queensland we have mask mandates and we have to wear masks whenever we go outside indoors. So that, I think, is just a result of wearing a mask. And the same on my chin, because it was fine before I had to go out and put a mask on. But like everywhere else where there's like the mask hasn't touched my face, well, actually even these parts where the mask does touch my face, it's fine. And okay, and even in the parts where it's transferred a little bit, it's still not ridiculously oily. It's transferred, yes, but it's not ridiculously oily. So far so good. I'm probably going to wear this for probably another 5 or so hours. So we'll see how we go, and I will check in at the end. Hi everyone, back for my final check-in. It is currently 5:11 p.m. So this foundation has been on since 8:30 this morning. So that's what, about 9.5 hours. So looking at my skin, and overall, I'm actually really happy with this foundation, because whilst yes, it has transferred, I was wearing a mask quite a few times throughout the day, and it has transferred off where the main points of my mask are on my face. My face isn't actually overly oily. I'm a bit shiny up here on my nose and on my chin. But overall, it hasn't sunken into any of my fine lines. It hasn't overly accentuated any of my pores. It's done a pretty, really good job at controlling my oil. So this is the type of foundation I would wear if I know I'm going somewhere for a while. I'm not going to be touching my face a lot while wearing a mask for a long time. And I just want it to last and not look too oily, not go into fine lines, or not accentuate anything. That would be my type of foundation. So this would be a very good everyday foundation for me, because it's not a particularly heavy formula. And it's actually held up quite well against my oily skin, despite the mask wearing and everything. And I was wearing glasses all day, sunglasses or normal glasses, and it's only worn off on the 2 points where my glasses touch. Normally sometimes they'll touch down here, and foundation will wear off, but it hasn't done that in this case, which is absolutely amazing. So I absolutely am loving this new foundation for me, and it's definitely something I'm going to keep wearing. Something I do just want to try quite quickly is I'm going to touch up a little bit with powder. If this was like, say, midday, and it was like this, I would probably touch up a little bit, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to do it. So I'm just using the Nikkia Joy Cosmetics powder. I'm going to tap a little into the lid. Not much, really, not much at all. Hope you can see that. I'm just going to take this on my Sigma Tapered Face F25 brush. So just a little bit on the brush. I'm just going to on the places where I'm oily. So that has done exactly the job I wanted it to. So it has just soaked up that brief amount of oil that was on my T-zone. If this didn't have the transfer, I would happily keep wearing this. Something like this, if I was about to go out with this, I would maybe touch up the transferred bits a bit more with maybe some concealer, just because they are a little bit obvious. But this is just a wear test, so I'm not particularly going to be going out after this, so I'm not phased. But overall, I really do like this foundation. Would recommend it if you are looking or interested in buying it, because it is very good, especially for oily skin. It's lasted amazing on my skin. Would definitely recommend it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I do have some other wear test videos on my channel if you want to check them out. I'll link them all below. I'll link the playlist below. And stay tuned. I'll be doing some more wear tests in the future. Thank you. Bye.